Okay, join me as we make dog food, homemade dog food, so much better for your dog. And there's things, of course, you can do to tweak it. I am not a veterinarian, but this is something we have started with the cabin dogs, and I hope you guys enjoy. Maybe you can, play on it and you can come up with your own calculations. So stay tuned. Here we go. First up is my carrots and sweet potatoes. I've washed them and cut the ends off. You can also peel them if you want. That's up to you, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to cut everything up, and this is going to go in the crock pot first. Okay, so I got all the carrots and sweet potatoes cut up, and I'm just going to put in about 4 cups of water. Start with about 2.5, and then add water as your crock pot starts to go dry. You can always add more. So I'm going to do 4. All right, stay tuned. All right, I am using chicken breast, and the reason I'm using chicken breast is it was so much cheaper than ground chicken, ground turkey, any other form of chicken, and so I am using chicken breast. I'm going to cut them up, put them in my Ninja food processor. If you had an attachment to make ground chicken in your mixer, you could use that too, but this is just as fast. I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to do some pulses. Let me just show you what it looks like when we've got it all pulsed up. I mean, it grinds it up really good. You could use turkey, you could use a lean ground beef, whatever you want to use. And this is about 2 to 3 pounds for this batch. Great, everything's in. I'm gonna start off by putting it on 4 hours. And then once it starts boiling, I'll back that off a lot. And then I'm going to put my brown rice, 2 cups brown rice, 2.5 cups water in my Ninja pressure cooker, and that will cook for 10 minutes on high. And then I will do the lentils, which is 2 cups and 2 cups, and that will be 5 minutes on low. The lentils don't take any time at all. So that's where I'm at right now. This is going to cook for about 4 or 5 hours today, and then I'll mix everything together and be back with you. Right, so I'm at the point where I'm going to put the spinach in, and it's 4 cups of fresh spinach, which would be about 12 ounces. I did find that the frozen spinach is cheaper, so I'm going to put what I have left of the spinach here, fresh spinach, and I'm going to put in some of this. I figure about half of it because it's 24 ounces, so it'd be 12 ounces. So that'll get me exactly where I need to be. Okay, so it's all done, and I'm just taking my little mixing chopper here. Most of y'all have this. You could use a potato chopper, like a mashed potato, and I'm just kind of making sure everything gets incorporated really well. And you can see how amazing it looks, and it smells so good. It smells like a winter stew, like a chicken stew. It smells really delicious. So I'm fixing to add this to the lentils and the rice. Okay, the rice and lentils are now incorporated, and it's time to feed them. Hey friends, so I have now over a month that we've been doing the dog's food, and I wanted to kind of give a recap. I'm gonna have the recipe, I'm gonna have all the supplements we give them, but I want to give a recap of kind of what we've found out doing this month. And I wanted to give it a whole month because you never know what could go wrong, or we might have to tweak or anything like that. And we have tweaked a few things. You want to definitely start out with some kind of lean meat. You could do turkey, you could do chicken, lean ground beef, however you want to do that. You could do ground. We did find that the chicken breasts were a little cheaper. Now, I did find this weekend that the thighs, I got some thighs. They do have bones, of course, in it. But those were even cheaper. So I got thighs, and I figured it would be better for them, and I'll tell you why in a minute. We were doing chicken breast. The thighs were $1.58 a pound at Sam's Club, and then the breasts are $2.88 a pound. Now, the thighs, of course, you got to deal with the bones and the skin. You got to take all that off, so you got to account for that a little bit. But I am on my 3rd big batch that I've made in the last few days, and the reason why is I'm trying to get ahead. So I put it in the freezer, and that way I am not stressing every week trying to get their food done. So I got all their thighs done. This is just thighs, carrots, and rice right now. I've got some lentils and the spinach in the pressure cooker right now. I have found that if you cook it in a pressure cooker, you can do it so much faster. So we do everything in the pressure cooker. I just did the big bunch of thighs at Sam's Club, the big pack, and I put them in 25 minutes, took them out, let them cool down, and then I took the bones out, anything else that was in there, any gristles or anything, and then I took it and put it in my food processor and I blended it up really good. And then that gave me a nice little consistency. So that's how I did that. Before I was taking the full breast. This is how I did it. I took the full breast and put them raw into the food processor and then cooked them. And that worked out great too. Now I've done them also in the crock pot. I've done the whole food in the crock pot and I've done it in here. So this will take me 1, 2, 3 batches to do in the pressure cooker because I'm doing 3 different things in it. But my carrots I did on the stove today. And then I use that juice from the chicken and from the carrots to do their rice and the lentils that I'm doing. Now you could do carrots, you could do sweet potatoes, you could do both. I've done it all the ways. I've done all carrots, all sweet potatoes, and half carrots, half sweet potatoes. So you can do it that way. Now what we have found is this. First of all, it is not cheaper at all. So don't think you're going to come out less, money for it. That is not going to happen. We are spending, it's probably about $30 a week, but I have 3 dogs. I've got Lucy, who doesn't really count. She's only, Lucy's only 4 pounds. And then I've got Daisy and Ellie. Ellie is 65 pounds and Daisy's 40, but I feed them the same amount because they are, like Daisy's really high energy and Ellie is not. So I'm giving Daisy, even though she's only 40 pounds, the same amount of food as I'm giving Ellie. And in the mornings, I do give them a boiled egg. I boil a dozen of eggs at a time. So in the mornings, I give them each an egg. Well, actually 14 eggs at a time because I last a week. And I give them each an egg. Lucy's food goes into a little container and then I spoon it out and weigh it. The big dog's food, I go ahead and weigh it and put it in Ziploc bags. I'm sure I have a picture of that. Here's some of my frozen ones. I put it in Ziploc bags. And then that way, all I have to do is grab a bag for each of them every day. And then I lay them out in the morning usually. And you don't want to heat it up in the microwave because you don't want to get any more of the nutrients out of it. So what I do is I take about 1/4 cup of broth. And then I mix, like beef broth. You can do chicken broth. I mix it with some beef gelatin. I'll link all this in the description. I do some beef gelatin and I mix it together. It becomes really thick and gelatinous. And then I add hot water to it. And then I pour that over their food and they love it. They think that's the greatest thing ever. In the mornings, I cut up the egg, shell and all, for the big guys because they love it and it's good for them and calcium is good for them. So I give them that. I do supplement a couple of other things. Like Daisy has an allergy vitamin she takes and I have some bone broth I'll throw in there. So you can put other things in there. But the most important thing is to watch them and make sure, like Daisy, she lost weight. And so then I was like, oh, I need to up her protein. So that's why I kind of went to thighs to try to give her a little bit more fat and up her protein a little bit too. So I did a little bit more chicken ratio than I did before. Ellie's doing great. Lucy's doing great. It's just Daisy. But Daisy's always had this problem, even with regular kibble. So we're doing really good and they love it. Lucy is just her little sweet self. She's like hopping around and it's really sweet to see the change in her. Her coat looks better. All the dogs' coats look better. They are so happy to get their food. It's absolutely amazing watching them. Lucy will come. So Lucy's going to be 14 this year. And Lucy will come, I believe she's going to be 14. She'll come now. She hasn't stepped on our tile in a long time because she's got cataracts and stuff. She's not completely blind, but now when she knows I'm in here making food, she stands at the kitchen door and instead of coming on tile, she stands there and howls for her food. And the big dogs are sitting behind me the whole time while I'm making it because it's a little process, I lay it all out and do their little gelatin and make a little gravy for it. And Lucy sits there and howls every time. It is so funny. She looks forward to it so much. And so do the other dogs. They are loving their food. I mean, Ellie will lay on the ground eating it. And I do feed them. I do feed Ellie and Daisy in puzzle dishes. And I do that because they're big, fast eaters, and I don't want them being fast eaters. So that's not good for them to eat all the food really quick. So it does take, Ellie takes about 15 minutes to eat total. Daisy's done in like 7. She's half the time. And Lucy's done super fast too. I do not do Lucy's in a puzzle dish, but she doesn't gulp it down the way they do. But we've just been really happy. Now, I'm not a veterinarian. If you see any difference in your dog, please, please, please call your vet. Ask them ahead of time. If your dog has any health issues, ask your vet, is this going to be okay for them? I mean, make sure you check with your vet. That is your best line of defense with that. But we're just loving it. It has been the best thing ever. It is time consuming, but that's why I'm getting some together to put in the freezer, because we go camping and all. And if we're gone 10 days, I'm not going to be able to make food during that time. So I probably want like a 10-day period put away in my freezer. So right now, everything I'm making today is going to go in my freezer. And then next Monday, I'll make food all over again. So I'm trying to get in the habit of once a week doing their food. All right. Well, that's what I got. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope maybe it helps some of you with your animals, but don't do it to save money. That's not what's going to happen. You're not going to do it to save money. Your meat's the most expensive. But carrots, sweet potatoes, whatever. If you get them on sale, put them in the freezer. Buy the bigger bags of, rice and everything, like at Sam's Club. I need to start doing that because I'm buying bags of rice like crazy. But we are just loving it, and it just feels so good to be able to give them homemade food. All right. Thank y'all. Let me know if you have any questions.